Hello, you are listening to the Unqualified podcast. We're your hosts, Jorge,
Carrie,
and Diamond,
where we speak our minds and share our unqualified opinions together. Remember, this is an AI-free podcast, and all content is human designed and generated by our team. So don't forget, we're Unqualified. As society progresses, I think we can all take a look at the previous decades and absolutely raise our noses at what our ancestors would have put up with. It's inevitable for us to grow and gain new insights on what future dynamics will look like. So, riddle me this. As we grow and gain more autonomy, how do we end up producing people who still hold onto age-old concepts? If you haven't figured out by the title, today's topic revolves around pick-me girls and nice guys. Fantastic. And God knows why we continue to exist and make life worse for everyone around them. Oh, I say we. Whoops.
Are you in
self-report? Self-report.
Whoa. No, I still identify. No,
it's over. That's staying in.
I'm falling back.
Do not clip that, Angel.
All right. So let's get the definitions out the way, right? What is a pick-me girl and what is a nice guy? Surprisingly, there's an entire Wikipedia article on the topic of pick-me girls. Well, both, honestly. Pick-me girl is a term used on the internet to describe a woman who seeks male approval by regularly belittling other women, right? So putting women down to get approval from the men. It was not uncommon in the early 2000s to see a girl regularly say she hates being friends with women or only wants to be with, she wants to be one of the guys.
She's
right?
not like other girls.
She's not like other girls.
Those are pick-me drama.
Yeah.
I don't want to be part of that
like
drama. Exactly. Right.
Guys, on the other hand, have no drama.
Exactly.
Right.
True.
Gossip girl.
So this term was coined as early as 2006, but it only started being used regularly around 2016, which kind of adds up. I don't think I've heard of pick-me girls until like the past decade.
What episode it was, but I think there was an episode of Grey's Anatomy where the girl was like, "So pick me, choose
me."
I don't know when that episode came out though, but that one also is connected to this word.
Yeah, that's probably where it came from. The pick-me girl.
Okay. And so on the other side, we have nice guys. So Wikipedia also defines nice guys as it's an informal term commonly used with either a literal or a sarcastic meaning for a man. It's an informal term commonly used with either a literal or a sarcastic meaning to describe someone who believes himself to possess genuine nice guy characteristics. Even though he genuinely does not, and uses acts of friendship and basic social etiquette with the ulterior aim of progressing to a romantic or sexual relationship. He just wants to get laid. And similarly, this term was also used at the same time frame as pick-me girls. So why do we have pick-me girls and nice guys? Society puts emphasis on certain characteristics and consider being in a relationship one of the defining characteristics of our lives, right? We all want to be with somebody. We all want to have somebody in our lives because society tells us that we should be with somebody.
I'm sorry. I got to interrupt. You keep saying characteristics.
I keep fucking up that word.
It's okay.
I keep fucking up that word. I don't know what to tell you.
He's pronouncing characteristics.
Characteristics. All right.
Yeah. You got it.
Extra pressure to impress a partner leads to stupid, embarrassing, or even humiliating behavior. This behavior can even sometimes turn violent or even deadly in some circumstances. So what can we do about it? We can educate our friends, family, and children on being actual decent human beings. We can move towards a society that doesn't expect you to be in a relationship, which absolutely. And we can understand no one owes you anything, especially in relationships. Even if you are extra nice, nobody owes you a thing. So, ladies, what do we have for today's topic? What do we got to say about these nice guys and pick-me girls?
Okay. Welcome to my opinion corner. So, obviously, we're all in the age range where we're growing up with this pick-me culture, right? But we have songs like Misery Business by Paramore, Girlfriend by Avril Lavigne, or Don't You by Pussycat, where women are just constantly comparing each other, trying to one-up each other in order to, like, please a man, which, looking back, is frustrating, to say the least. And, I'll be honest, and I'll be like, even as a kid, I feel like there was this motion in media where you can either be like really pink and fun and kind of like a bimbo to some degree, and the men will love you, or you can be this girl that's reads books and skateboards, and the men will also love you, but in a real way,
The two
and
genders.
not a sexualized way.
Yeah,
That's
The blonde dating.
these.
I don't know.
The dichotomy of these two, like these are the two women that existed in media, right? And you can either be the dumb blonde or you can be the book reading,
The cooler
brunette.
girl.
Yeah. Like that was often what was like pushed on us. And so obviously as a kid, like I don't want to be, I mean, some people did pick the dumb blonde, which no hate to them. Like she was cute. She was fun. She was having fun. She's hanging out with her girls, living her best life. But obviously as a kid, I was like, I don't want to be dumb. I want to be smart. So I'm going to pick the girl that, you know, hangs out with the guys and stuff. Even though that didn't really like reflect, I feel like I've always been really good about having pretty equal friend groups. And even now as I get older, I feel like I talk more to women than to men. So just like growing up with that for a long time, like it really was deep, like intrinsic in me. Like I hated the color pink. It's just crazy. If you know me now, you know I like everything pink. I gave my character pink.
So true. Wow, it's crazy.
But yeah, just growing up, I wanted to be like one of the guys, and I thought like that was the only way that I could be smart and respected in this world is if I was like one of the guys. And then as I get older and I kind of get exposed to some more media and some more critiques, I kind of understand that girlhood isn't a one size fits all type of thing, and that the dichotomy that we were being shown before was really lame and not a great way for young girls to grow up. And we have kind of transitioned from calling out pick-me girls into having like this title of a girl's girl, where it's like considered the opposite of a pick-me girl. Pick-me girl might say, and I will say this too, because I was doing a lot of social research on this. So I was watching like Jordan Teresa, she's a YouTuber. She had posted a video about the doom politics of the pick-me. So I was consuming her content, and she had some great things to say. Definitely check out her video. But basically the modern day pick-me has kind of transitioned, and we don't really see regular pick-me anymore. And you can say, well, you know, what about like just pearly things? What about like the political pick-me's? And I think it's pretty safe to say that they're getting paid. Like, I don't even think these women believe that themselves, the stuff that they're saying.
Wait, what are they called? Just pearly? Or what?
You don't know Pearl? I don't really want to give her
know.
too much attention because she's already
okay.
big. But she, you know, do you know who Pearl is, Carrie?
I might. I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, she's this, I don't know if she goes by anti-feminist, but she's this woman, I think she's a little bit older than me.
Unfortunately, pick me, when it originally was termed, was not its final form.
Yeah.
There's many that have evolved past this, and it can be political. Definitely, like, you know, for women, the new form of pick me, or like more of its ultimate form, is like super traditional, conservative, MAGA, anti-feminist. I'm not like other women. I want to be a stay-at-home wife, barefoot and pregnant all the time.
I
like it that way. Like that's,
I mean, this
it's
is
a hard push for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, this is a woman that's like 30 and she's tweeting like a man will prefer a younger girl that's 18 versus one that's 26.
I see what you mean. I think I remember seeing one of her tweets before. I think you're right.
Yeah. And she's known for this kind of like rage bait commentary
Totally.
about women.
And they know what they're doing.
Yeah. And all the meanwhile, she's a single woman in her 30s making bank. I absolutely think she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
You know? And even to a degree like Erica Kirk, right? Obviously the shit she pushes. But she's also a freaking, millionaire woman. She had her own business. She was in her 30s and didn't have kids and stuff until after she got married to a younger man. Like at its core, it's kind of feminist.
It's not traditionalist at all.
Yeah, it's not traditionalist. You know, like she didn't get married until down in her 20s. She went on, had a very successful
career.
Business career. But then they push this rhetoric towards other women like, no, you stay home. Yeah. So that's why I kind of agree with Jordan Teresa's take that like pick-me's don't really exist in the same sense that they used to. I think we've got to a point in society where women have mostly transitioned to wanting to be a girl's girl. And by that, it's like, I think if we can describe Girls Girl as someone who does things to uplift and help other girls instead of rejecting femininity and feminine behavior. And for example, one that is really common is like, if you're in the bathroom and a girl asks for a pad or tampon and you give her one, like, you're a girl's girl, you're helping other women. Or like, if you see a guy bothering a girl at a bar and you notice she's uncomfortable, you go up to her.
Pretend to be your friend.
Yeah, you pretend to be your friend and shoo the guy off. Like, that's a girl's girl. And at its core, I think it is a great way to be. Like, we should all kind of strive to be girls. The problem is when you start using, the ways of the girl's girl, or an old school way to call it would be like girl code, into policing other women. And I told you I was going to bring this up. All right. But basically, Love Island, for an example, right?
My favorite show.
You kind of can't go on a show like that and be a girl's girl, because the whole point of the show is you're going in there to, especially if I think they have a second round of people come in, right? Like, so
what you're saying is it's like an environment of competition.
It's an environment of competition. You're absolutely competing with the other women in there, because that's the nature of the show. So you can't go in there and be like, I already cleaned this guy. You're not a girl's girl if you come and take this guy. Well, you're already on a show that kind of eliminates those rules. Like, why would you put yourself on a show like that in the first place if your whole thing is being a girl's girl and you're just there to police other women for playing the game? Like, there's a cash prize. It's not for no reason that this is happening. And so in that sense, like, we start to see like the weaponization of the girl's girl and the girl code, and how it's turning into like policing other women. We also have women going on TikTok and saying, this girl, yeah, she's not a girl's girl. She did this, this, and this. And it's kind of just turning into petty BS. So kind of just to get to my point is, and same thing with nice guys, right? I believe fully that the girl's girl term is turning into our nice guy term. So
Whoa.
if a girl is consistently calling herself like a girl's girl and saying that she's just so much nicer than other girls and she would never do this, if she's talking a lot, but she's not walking the walk, then she's exactly like a nice guy. A nice guy is going to act like they're so great, but then they're never actually going to give you anything of substance. And we kind of get to this point of people are just using it as virtue signaling and putting others down again.
Yeah, it's at the end of the day, manipulation can still be a core part of these behaviors and trying to enact like maximum social currency, ultimately.
Exactly.
I'm a girl's guy.
I'm going to
That
talk
term is
about
going to come up.
I'm going to talk about a girl's guy in my corner, so I'll segue a little bit.
There you
I
go.
have one. I'm going to hold him up and be like, this guy right here.
Let's hear it.
I'll start a little on my top of the opinions corner, but I'm going to end with this man. I found him recently, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. I think, say it with me, pick me is misogyny.
It's misogyny. Okay.
It's misogyny. It's
Easy to remember.
misogyny personified in female spaces. That's what it is. And unfortunately, when you start to unpack this a little bit, it's like you're policing each other for who? When you're in your inner circles with just women and one girl's like putting this other girl down for being X, Y, and Z or saying something a certain way, or like, that's not a girl's girl. Who is that serving? Men, essentially. And actually, I think it's a good point that you brought up, like Love is Blind, because it's such a like great visual.
Love
Is
Island.
unfortunate. Oh, Love Island.
You're good.
Actually, any of these shows, to be honest, any of these dating shows, you'll see this like embedded sort of belief about this social commentary. And what happens is, I think anyway, is that because for most, I'm going to be like, we live in a society, but for most of society, you had where men had the most agency and the most power. And so for the more traditional pick me woman, it was to be able to clamor for a position under a powerful man. Ultimately, that's what it was, right? Like you have to fight for a position, fight for power, and you don't, it's competition. And it's kind of always been that way. And I was talking to my aunt and my grandma a couple months ago. We were in the car and they were talking about when they used to have their careers because they're both retired. And they're like, man, any day I would take working with a man any day than being with other women in an office. And I was like, let's unpack that. What do you mean by that? And they're like, well, they're more vicious because like they're catty and they're rude and they put you down and all this other stuff. And I was like, well, why do you think they did that in an office? And mind you, my aunt, the one that I'm talking to, she was in a very like male dominated space. She was in construction. Not a lot of women in construction, right? And I was like, why do you think if you had one or other two women in an office in a male dominated space that there was competition between you all three? Why? Why do you think that is? It could be a pecking order. Do you think it could be that?
Like chickens.
Right. And it's just like, I think you need to recognize the fact that for women especially, for a long time, and I'll talk about a little bit of the evolved one that Diamond's talking about, but leads me to my next point about we need to accept the fact that many of us grew up with the pick-me persona. And like Diamond said, it's something that we were either shown through media. It's something you're going to see like in your life, like actually personified in people around you. Your mom could be that way. Grandparents could have been that way. And for many of us, I think it was a safety mechanism. It was this pecking order. You found and you recognized at a very young age that you lived in an environment that was telling you that you should not, trust your own power, like within yourself to be able to attain things. And also that you felt that you did not have much autonomy. So you're trying to grapple and trying to pull for this type of power. And society was telling you that men were the only ones that could hold this for a long time. So I'll just speak for myself that I grew up with a bit of a pick-me mentality for a while. Thankfully, not that it would have mattered anyway, but I kind of got away from that as I got into high school and I started, being able to actually have good relationships with women. But yeah, I definitely am still one, I look back in the time where I was like, I would say things like that, like, all my friends are guys, girls are drama. Blah, blah, blah. And to some extent they were. It was because all of us were pick-me's. You know what I mean? Like all of us wanted to be loved and accepted. We were all pick-me, so we're all mean to each other.
I like that you brought up the fact that we could have family that's also pick-me. Like having a pick-me mom, dude. Devastating. Devastating.
Yes. It's
tragic.
And you learn that, So I think... I call myself a recovering pick-me. Like, thankfully, as I said, I didn't really hurt anybody. Nothing extensive happened, but I had that mentality of I need to align myself under like a powerful man and like in one day in my life. And so that means the women around me, he'll take care of me. And the women around me is competition. Like, that's what it feels like, is that you're competitive and you have this own like narrative in your mind. So for the young ones listening, for the new girl code version or the pick me or whatever, I just encourage you that try to recognize this as early as you can and understand that being a pick me is a losing game and you don't deserve it. And you can drop that narrative at any time. And for even some of us that are a little older that are maybe just starting to recognize this as you're getting older, like the relationships you're going to sacrifice with women in hopes of building like a support system with men around you, it's gonna
You'll
crumble.
Be so lonely.
You're gonna be lonely, and like it will. I've seen it so many times with girls that I knew that were like this. When you truly need support, like a support system, financially, emotionally, anything, and you've basically sacrificed your relationships with other women for the sake of being desirable by men. I promise you, these men. Because to some extent, you have also started the relationship to be transactional. They're not going to be there for you when you really need something because your relationship is surface level, unfortunately. So it doesn't serve you. It's a losing game, and you will fight to be the loser. Essentially, that's what you gain. What are you gonna say?
It's funny because you're like, oh, like men will provide it for you. We won't even provide it to ourselves.
Yeah. Right.
Like we just here. Notice how men treat each other. I feel like that's a close representation on what you should expect for yourself if you're trying to please them.
That men are the average pick-me.
Honestly,
and it's because men will absolutely put down other men to look better in front of girls.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Want to be seen, like deemed desirable. So
exactly.
Competition with, amongst each other. And it's not healthy. So we're going to talk a little bit about a man, and oh my gosh, it's crazy. I'll have to either we'll put it in the actual video or I'll just link it in here. So I won't give you too many so we're not all subject to it and have to watch more than we need to.
What do you
But
mean?
men can be pick-me's. I know the nice guy is its term, but I also, like, it is a bit of a different flavor. And, like, there's a bit of a
Yeah.
distinction. Men can be pick-me's. You are not safe,
Yeah.
okay? I found this man, Omantane, or whatever the fuck his name is. I'll put it in there. I'm gonna read. He's got, like, a type of video that's been going viral, so he's been making, like, 10 of them in the same format.
Mm.
I'm going to read off exactly what he says. And mind you, put it in your mind if you are one of the people that can see things when you close your eyes. This man is like,
Rotate a horse.
yes, rotate a horse with me, okay? How big is the apple? All right, this is a man that's got his phone like on his kitchen counter. It's always in like a kitchen space. And he's got a really tight shirt on. The last one I saw, he had bluey, and it's like a men's crop top. And he's trying to look a little buff, and he's always like rubbing his arms and his legs when he's talking. And this is his actual line that he says verbatim every time. Either we'll have like our editor put it in, or I'll just put it in as the link. It's fine either way. I'll read it out. He says, "You want to know another absolutely disgusting secret about men they don't want you to know? And as usual, this is an absolute foolproof method. So please pay attention and do not tell anybody I told you." Like, there was 10 videos that I watched and I just scrolled up and up and up. Straight up, he sounded like he was giving instructions in an airline. Like, this is what this man says every time. And it's like, okay, so this idea that he's going to give you an in about disgusting men and that they're different. Like, are you not a man? Is he different than these men? What is this like? Let me let you in on a little dirty secret
He's
that none
built
of the other men
different,
want to
Carrie.
know. Right, I wear a bluey crop top. I'm different. And so, like, so he has this, and, like, it seems to be working well for him, and I think that's why he's doing the format. But, like, another video that wasn't that was, like, he's got videos on his channel that pairs with, like, how good of a boyfriend he is. So he talks shit about these other men. And then he had a video where it's like muted and it's playing like cutesy music. And the text up at the top says, "When someone asks me about my girlfriend." And it's like him talking for 5 minutes. You don't know what he's saying because it's muted and it's on 2x speed. So it's this idea of like, oh, he's so obsessed with his girlfriend. He can't stop talking about her. He's such a cute guy, you know? And it gives like desperate validation from women. So yes. Pick me came for you from both. And then I feel like nice guys is another flavor, and we'll have Jorge talk about it. But it just blew my mind to see a full adult man behave like this, where he was like, let me let you in on a secret that other men don't want you to know. And he used the term like disgusting secret. Like it's so negative. It's literally to put other men down. And I was just like, wow. This is the type of shit I would expect from a 14-year-old in high school, not a 30-year-old man with tattoos on. Like, please.
Same thing.
Same thing.
What's wrong with being
Same
30?
mentality.
And it blew my mind. Like, okay, for the audience to know I'm an asexual. So I just noticed it, I think, in a more outside way. A lot of his videos where he's basically giving you the disgusting secret, which again I think is just a terrible man's hot take. That's what what he was talking about. He's like always lotioning himself. Like he has lotion and then he's like
He
lotioning
puts
his
the
arms.
lotion on the skin.
Yeah, he puts the lotion on the skin. And I was like, he's trying to get these girls to eat him up just to be like, because he's kind of buff. I'm not going to say he doesn't have, like, he works out, obviously. But he straight up is just like, yeah, so what men don't want you to know. And he's like, and then, like, just, I don't even know, moisturizing his muscles, like, for the whole video. And I'm like, brother, you've moisturized this side of your arm enough.
That's
like,
crazy.
Now we're buffing it. We're buffing it like a car. Like, relax. Yeah, men can be pick-me's too. And my last piece of here is just like, please, if you find yourself in more of a competitive environment or like in your mindset to be competitive with people, it is a losing game. Please let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go. Don't be a nice guy anymore.
Please do not. Please don't. Please don't be nice guy anymore. So true.
In the year
Oh my God.
2026,
In the big 2026, that's crazy.
you're a nice guy?
Now, you know, you guys already touched upon this. It's really easy to fall into this category of either nice guy or a pick-me girl. You know, I'll say it. I'll admit it. I used to be a nice guy. All right.
Dun, dun,
I used
dun.
to be. It's unfortunate.
Now he's an asshole.
Now I'm an asshole.
I'm fully
And everyone loves
formed.
me. So let's talk about it, right? Growing up, nice guys, we had our own also music. I'm gonna attribute it. Sorry, Ed, but Ed Sheeran music. If you play Ed Sheeran music, unironically, if you call him your favorite artist, I swear to God, I'm gonna look at you sideways. All right,
As a guy, as a man.
Yeah.
But you
As a man?
literally like that kind of music, though. I feel like you like that slow, boring.
Well, hold on. We'll get to that. Treat You Better by Shawn Mendes. I remember when that song came out. I'm like, this is
Pick Me song. And you know what else, though?
What?
Angel sent me this. Oh my God, I need to show you this song. My partner sent me this song called I'm the One by the Descendants. And it's such a pick me guy anthem, dude. It's such a nice guy anthem. It's like, I'm the one. I've been here for you all along. I'm the one, the shoulder you've been crying on.
Oh, there we go.
And it's like, nice guys finish last. No one knows as well as me. This song came out in the 80s.
That's crazy.
This song came out in the 80s.
Right. We have
So that nice guy has been around.
It's been around, right? Jesse's Girl.
Yes.
Right? There you go. There you go, right?
He's pick me. Choose
me. Love me.
The nice guy.
And they come in, Carrie, you brought upon one flavor. I have other flavors. I would like to say, nice guys, they like to listen to sad boy music. Everything I just mentioned, like that's sad boy music right there.
Is Keshi nice guy music?
That's Asian nice guy music. All right. And it's so funny. It's so funny and ironic because he's actually the furthest from like a sad boy. He's been with this high school sweetheart and happily married with her. Like,
damn, he's making bank on your sadness.
He's making bank off your sadness, bro. Like, he's not a real sad boy.
He's a faker.
He's a faker. But that's what I'm saying, right? It's like being a sad boy, like that's just a state of mind. You can just change that, just fix yourself. And generally, so nice guys, I say we because I used to think this way, but
we nice guys.
We nice guys. We always think, nice guys finish last. I would like to say yes, but for the wrong reasons. Once you get into that nice guy mentality, there's a lot of characteristics that come along with being a nice guy, right? One major one is lack of boundaries with women. You feel so entitled to their emotions, their body, their being, just because you're nice to them, just because you treat them like, borderline human. And even then, you probably don't even treat them as an actual person. You put them on a pedestal and, women can sense that. They can notice that really easily. And when they do notice... Right, exactly. They know ball. They know ball. So when that happens, all your actions, they feel performative. We always harp on the guy that plays guitar is like, anyway, here's Wonderwall, those kind of guys. We harp on we harp on the guys that, female literature in public, right? The mysterious guy on his laptop at the coffee shop, blah, blah, blah. It's and
they're always pretentious.
Yeah, they're always it's pretentious in a way, right?
Performative is the key word here.
Exactly. You don't feel real. Nothing about you feels real. You just seem like you're how do I want to say this? The idea that a man thought up that women want. You just copy and pasted it and then you just put yourself in the real world. Right? The desperation is so
Y'all
obvious.
do that for a lot of stuff, I gotta say, though.
For a lot of things, but right now we'll focus.
Do that for a lot. They're like, a woman wants a big, buff guy.
Yes. Yes.
And look at this unrealistic standard, and it's like, we didn't say we wanted that.
Exactly. Oftentimes,
y'all made that up.
We talked for women to ourselves, and we just give ourselves the worst ideas. Another thing that nice guys like.
Sorry,
to do...
I'm gonna interject. I knew a guy who would literally go to the gym to get women. Like he's like, I'm gonna have this physique body, not work on his personality at all. And then he was like, I buff and I quai, because he was like, I thought they wanted, and we're like, who is she in the room right now? Do you think this is gonna do it? Like, what?
I did so many quads.
And right, and now I quai.
Now I can only cry into my muscles, my biceps. So, and generally, nice guys, oh my God, because we do these nice things, we read into things that aren't really there. We're like, oh, she like gave me a hug or something. She must like me,
Yeah.
Or she said like, oh, you look you look good in that outfit. Oh, she must think, I'm attractive.
I'm gonna raise I'm literally actually, you can't see me. I raised my hand.
Okay.
I'm interjecting.
Go ahead.
I know, like, and maybe I'm jumping the gun. You might talk about this, but this is an important thing. Do we know why? Do you know why men do that?
Because we don't do it ourselves. We don't compliment ourselves. We don't, tell each other, or like physical touch, just gone.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I'm also going to interject one additional thing specifically for the pick-me man. Like, that is correct. Like, the default, all men, this is a problem, compliment each other. Number 2, when you're a nice guy and everything is performative, you're making the assumption on the other end. You're self-projecting.
Right.
She's saying this nice thing about me because she likes me, because that's what I do.
Right, exactly. Yes.
I'm looking into it because I am being like multifaceted with my behavior with her or with anybody. Right. I'm just interjecting that. So if you're in that mindset of like, and I'm sure Jorge, like you said, like once was in this position, but it's self-projection, I think, is ultimately what it is. And also, yes, you need to compliment each other too, but you're looking in, we would look into things because we are also having underlining meanings when we say things.
Yes.
So she must also be doing the same thing.
Right. And it's so funny because all my friends that are girls, all the time, they're like, oh, you're so pretty, you're so beautiful, yes, girl, get that, blah, blah, blah. Like guys might think that's cringe, but like that's very necessary for each other, right? Not just for their confidence.
And it's genuine. Like it didn't mean anything other than what it meant.
Yeah, they don't all want to like sleep with each other. Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Fantasy, huh?
No. But jokes aside, there's no underlying motive that men would have behind that, right?
Yes.
So I think men, we just need to be more comfortable, first of all, to ourselves. Say, oh yeah, dude, you look so good in that, bro. You're gonna get that girl. Be like that, Or get that guy, whoever you swing, right? Point being is, let's
say
be more
I love
open.
You to the bros now and then.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. And I'm still guilty of that. It's very hard for me to say that.
Mm-hmm. You don't even want anyone to touch you.
Look, that's not the point.
We're working on it.
We're working on it. Identifying the problem is the first step. Working on it is next. So
yes, I will say, Jorge, it's very funny. When I first met you, and now way years later, now that I know who you are, I was like, man, I should have taken that opportunity to give you the hug when I met you the first time, but I didn't, and I'll never get that opportunity again. And I would have gotten away with it because you didn't know me.
That is true.
I missed my opportunity.
That is true. And it's funny. I have a note here where I'm going to tell the guys, if you're going to show any form of like affection, like I wouldn't say affection, but to be close with other guys, you're going to have to be a little autistic about it. And same with like when you receive compliments from other people, in the sense of there's no underlying meaning behind what we say. Take everything at face value and just roll with it. If you get a compliment, fantastic. Keep doing what you're doing and you'll turn out fine.
Don't always move with a motive, and don't assume other people do.
Exactly. Now, I did try to look up some studies about nice guys, and I listed all the wrong reasons on. Right, there's actually very few studies on nice guys.
I didn't even know there was studies on it, so I'm
very few.
But it's been around, so I guess it makes sense.
It's kind of hard to quantify nice guys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I just listed the wrong reasons on why nice guys lose or why they finish last or whatever. But real nice guys, I have this study here. Real nice guys actually, like, women prefer men that are genuine, men that actually mean what they say and, act on what they want to do. In the sense of, I would treat you nice, flowers, all that stuff. In this study, they did different scenarios. I'll just make up names. Jacob who's mean, Jacob who's nice. They always prefer the Jacob who's nice, who treats them well. And Jacob who's mean, they just kind of brush him off. They always don't prefer him. And they did do a poll based on attractiveness. So they're like, oh, Jacob who's mean and attractive, and Jacob who's not mean and unattractive. And still they choose the Jacob who's nice, right? Mm-hmm. Nice guys do win. Yes, the women. So the reason that they choose like the
I'm not surprised because I've talked to real women and I've seen how people get married.
Right. Right. So,
the amount of average Joe Schmoes that get married on a daily basis. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'm curious about how men treat the hot, mean Jacob. Like, are they more likely to be friends with the hot, mean Jacob over the...
I think it was just a study on women.
Yeah, just study on women. Like who would they would prefer to like,
but I
be in
want
a
to see
relationship
what
with?
the men would do.
That's a good
Mm,
question.
I don't know.
Do men like are they more likely to promote like asshole
The
behavior
negative?
between each other?
Yeah, they're more likely to start podcasts.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, they talk to me and Jacob and they're like, we should start a podcast, bro.
Yeah, there you go. So that's an interesting study, and it shows that, actual good characteristics, genuine motives, like treating women like actual people.
wins.
Exactly. Authenticity wins. That's a great summary for it. So guys, nice guys are always like, why do girls always like the jerks? Why do they always like Chad? They don't necessarily like him because he's a jerk. They like him because of the characteristics that come along, I wouldn't say with being a jerk, but they're more likely to show off.
He's authentically a jerk.
They show off these characteristics more often than nice guys. Biggest one is confidence. I swear to God, confidence is such a major factor, not just in relationships and societal like relationships, in work too, right? Confidence gets you to better promotions, job interviews, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. But women like confidence because you look like you know what you're doing and they can rely on you if you're going to be in a relationship with them, Sometimes, this is actually a different topic, but sometimes they are jerks. They're good at what they do. That's how they kind of get that attitude sometimes. Top athletes, they tend to be assholes, but that's because they can be because they're good at what they do, right? So
Yeah.
it kind of comes hand in hand.
Or also being attractive. Like they get away with a lot with the pretty license.
Exactly. There is a sense of security that they have around them and that other people might get by being around them as well. Being with the jerk, you're like, oh, I'm in the in crowd. And I guess that's kind of how popular groups happen.
Yeah.
You're with the asshole, then, I never thought of that. And they tend to be direct. There's no hidden motives. Sometimes there is. But they're more direct than a nice guy would be,
Yeah,
At
or
least-
like that's what they would find attractive in that persona is like a direct personality.
Right. Exactly. These are some of the characteristics I would say that women would look to at quote unquote bad guys, jerks, whatever the case may be. Why do people like villains? It's because, they, at least in TV shows and stuff, it's because they have the confidence. They're good at what they're doing,
At least they have a hobby.
a plan. They have
They
a
have a
401k.
plan.
The devil has a job.
Exactly.
The devil has a job.
That's a great way to put it. So, real nice guys, what can we look up to? Who are the actual,
Role model.
role models that we can look at? Not the fakos, right? Superman. Superman's genuine.
Mm-hmm.
People always harp on him because he's always like the Wonder Boy or like the Boy Scout or whatever. But, dog, the more I learn about him, the more he's like the man, right?
Mm.
For weebs, Vegeta after the Cell arc. Let me make this very clear.
Arc, help.
Let me make this very clear. He becomes a family man after the Cell arc, especially in Super. He becomes a simp. That's not a bad thing. He's a simp for his wife.
I feel like if my wife was a billionaire, I would also probably simp for
Right.
her. So I don't know. It's a little unfair.
Look, I'm just saying, you need to have that kind of motivation. He was willing to let his universe be erased just so he can be present for the birth of his daughter. All right? That's the type of motivation we need. All right? More weep
Yeah,
shit.
man, if you're ever in that situation, you know what to do.
Exactly.
Erase the universe for your daughter.
Full Metal Alchemist, again, weep shit. Sig Curtis, right? Big buff man, but he would get on his knees for his wife. Same thing. But to kind of summarize everything, I would say just be normal. And, be direct. If you're going to, it's okay to be flirtatious and then, just don't chase hard if you're going to be with or want to be with the girl. Don't take rejection personally. I mean, sometimes it is personal.
Why do you think you need to be with the girl? Do you feel like you need to be with the girl because society, all your friends are with the girl and you feel like you need to be with the girl? What's wrong with being on your own?
Exactly. Be comfortable with yourself. That doesn't mean to be some kind of crypto bro or anything like that. Don't take it that way. We mean just be happy with yourself. And that will naturally bring other people around you as well.
100%. I think the big thing to harp on here is just the fact that if you are feeling like you're wearing a mask and that's how you walk around your entire life of being somebody else or a certain persona or whatever to get at, to attain somebody or their attention or whatever, I think really truly the first step back is to be like, just defining who you feel you really are authentically. Work on that first before you try to entangle yourself with anybody else. Just
Exactly.
really try to learn you first. And it's a benefit for you in many ways. One, yes, it can help with, if your simplistic set right now is just to find a partner, this will help in that area, but also to know thyself truly is just it's empowering to know yourself truly. So take a step back. If you've never had times in your life that you've never been single, try it. It's important. It's really important. Invest in yourself. Men love investments. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself, please. And I'm not just saying invest in the gym or just eating healthier. Literally, journal a little. Think about who you are as a person and who you want to be. Who is your Superman for you? And if anything, any core of the people that you look up to, they should be a core of authenticity. You like them and the way that they are because they are truly themselves. And you want to embody that in you.
Right.
Okay, I'm off my soapbox.
Like, again, women are just the same as us guys, right? They have their own set of emotions. You're not entitled to any of it. So, with that said, hot take section. Ladies, what we got?
I guess I'm going to start it off pretty hot.
Start off. What's the term? Young hoes put the heat on high or something? Cook on high?
I'm going to cook on high.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
Cooking on high.
Yeah.
All right. I'm mainly speaking to the women out here, the pick-me girls, just because that's my homies. Those are my group, but also to the men, too. You could listen to this, okay?
Yes.
If you've tried misogyny and you've seen what it's done for your life, I dare you to be a misandrist for a change. See how that feels. Truly, like, the hate that you have internally about like how misogyny is ingrained, I want you to see what it would feel like to truly believe that women are better, and I want to see what happens. That's my hot take. For all the pick-me girls, take all of that energy and all of that hate you feel towards women, direct it towards misogyny, and see how that is for your life. I want you to compare the difference. Give me the notes, and we'll compare afterwards.
It's true. Let me just interject for a hot second. Like, I wouldn't call myself a misandrist, but putting yourself in that mindset would absolutely let you see from the lens of a woman. So
yes,
definitely do that.
Put on the misandrist hat for a minute, okay? Just a minute and see how it feels.
And who knows, things might be better.
Right. Walk a mile in misandrist.
Walk a mile in these Louboutins.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, my hot take is that if you need to tell everyone that you're a girl's girl or a nice guy, you probably aren't. And you should start by your actions and not labeling yourself to some internet trend.
That's true, actually. Because you kind of put yourself in a box that way,
You do. And then when you inevitably make mistakes, everyone's going to look at you like you're crazy.
And I mean, I'm going to interject here. This is for any real positives that you want to exude. Let's just even say that someone is saying these things and their intention is good, right? Like their intention is like, I want to be known as this. The best thing you can do, and this is for being a girl's girl, this is about also being wise, being patient, being any of these things. Let other people give you those labels by the actions that you have. You don't have to label yourself those things. This is what you're saying. Like, let other people, when they describe you, girl's girl comes up. You don't have to describe yourself that way.
Yeah.
Wise, even. You want to be known as wise or patient or kind. Those words are descriptors. The only way you can truly get that label is by having other people give them to you.
Exactly.
Kind of like punk. It's not punk to call yourself punk.
It's not punk.
A perfect analogy right there. So for my hot take section, guys, especially nice guys, look, we're just gonna have to admit it, guys. We're ugly. All right. We're gonna have to just be accepted, come to terms, and that's not even true. Actually, now I think about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are nice guys
That's not even
explicitly ugly?
No,
well, no,
not
but
inherently.
Not inherently, but nice guys tend to not care about themselves, and in turn, don't display themselves as attractive. To be truly ugly, like that's not easy to do. Every person is at the very least, right? I hate to put a scale on this, but at a scale from 1 to 10, every single person is at least a 6 if you put some effort into it. You can be at least cute. You can be at least cute.
You know what makes you cute?
Just brush your teeth.
The authenticity.
Exactly.
Just be yourself.
Just be yourself, take care of yourself. And in turn, hopefully later on down the line, you can take care of other people. So you might not be able to fix your own, how you look, your height, whatever the case may be, but you can fix your personality. And I think that counts a lot more.
Not Jorge being like, say it with me. I'm ugly and I'm proud. I'm ugly and I'm proud.
And now, coming up next, we got the positive section. Carrie, I see you have nothing listed in our draft. What's up with that?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Worked on the script and I was like, my hot take's pretty good. And then I forgot the positive section existed. I was like, yeah, I cooked with misandry and then didn't scroll down. I think my positive, well, you know what? I'll let Diamond go first because I feel like mine piggybacks off. So I don't want to make it seem like it was my idea. So
Sure,
Diamond, you'll do yours first and then I'll piggyback off of it.
Go ahead.
So for me,
Yeah, because I'm a girl's girl.
She's stealing my ideas. Call yourself a girl's girl. It's over.
Bar for bar. That's crazy.
My positive take is that it's great that we're moving in a direction where people are unpacking misogyny and calling it out. But let's remember we don't exist in a vacuum and we're all unlearning what was taught to us. And kind of like how Carrie had mentioned, now I'm going to piggyback off her. How Carrie had mentioned that even like your family members, your mom, your grandma could have definitely exhibited this behavior and it's generational. And you as a girl in this generation, you're breaking that down and deciding, to purposely change your path. And that's pretty powerful.
Mm-hmm.
What she
Nothing
said.
for the nice guys. I don't know. Y'all figure it out.
Well, you know what? Go ahead. That's going to be a topic for another day, but continue.
I mean, what Diamond kind of said is what I was feeling. This, the exercise of talking about pick-me's and nice guys is like, we can pick on them all day long of being like, look at misogyny in its many forms. But I also like what Diamond kind of already said about moving a direction. I love the fact that it's for our generation a bird's eye view where we can give this a name, we can give it a label, and that means we can move forward past it. We're aware of it. So what Diamond was saying about being able to unpack some seated trauma and also just a societal structure that we don't want to subscribe to. Like I was just hearing about this recently of being like, the Gen Z is the generation that's unsubscribing to things. And I love that. That's my positive section, is that even though these individuals and these types of personas still exist and they're still around, is that we are the society now as we're getting older and getting more involved and influenced in it, is that we can unsubscribe to this at any time. And I'm seeing that. I'm seeing people decide that. And they're growing up and they're having kids and they're kind of initiating a new wave in a new world to some extent that is without these things. So it takes a long time, and you'll still have families, unfortunately, that haven't evolved yet. And so that you'll still have even Gen Alpha that are going to still have some of these things. But I think overall, I'm just happy that we're getting to a bird's eye viewpoint of being like, we can zoom out past this and we can zoom out past this. And we're just continuing to do that and being like, we don't want that anymore. So the unsubscribe term I like a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's crazy because both terms, nice guys and pick-me's, are basically because of misogyny. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For us, it's all about either racism, sexism, or classism. It's the big three.
The big three. All right. Positive section. Yeah. Once you stop being a nice guy, you get laid more.
I feel like this is a positive hot take.
I gotta tell you, because
Is this a personal anecdote?
this is a personal anecdote. I'll admit it. I'll admit it. Because I'm not an asshole, right? It's funny because I have a lot of friends that are girls because I'm an actual decent guy. I'm not a nice guy, but I'm cool, right? I'm chill. You can trust me. But
I don't expect them to have sex with me.
exactly. Right?
Yes.
Imagine that.
You're basically saying you move in your relationships without a motive.
Right. And so getting back to getting laid,
Oh my God.
point being is that you become more desirable once you don't be an asshole, but once you treat women as actual human beings, right? If that's your goal, treat them as human beings, right? Or if you want a relationship, treat them normally. That's the main takeaway. Don't treat them don't put them on a pedestal. Just be chill. Be cool. That's all you got to do. It's that easy.
Be more chill.
Be more chill.
Also, I know it's our positive section, but I see this so often with men, and I get it, again, society. But if you're really trying to be I want to have a relationship with anybody, it's not just men or women or whatever. It's just you're trying to open up to someone. Really think about the internal work. I know this is all words that men are what the fuck are you talking about? But be ready to actually be vulnerable. That's one thing I see so often with men where they're so ready to jump into a relationship and not at all ready for actual vulnerability. And that hurts you so much in a relationship. Be ready to be held. Let someone hold you. I know that sounds crazy, but be ready for that. And that can be scary for men. So if it's scary to you right now, maybe dating isn't for you. Be ready to let somebody hold you, like in many ways. And if you're not ready for that, let's start there.
Always look at yourself before you blame others. Well, with that said, that's our long spiel. That's just our opinion. But don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we're unqualified. If you like this episode, subscribe to our YouTube and Spotify. Find us on Instagram and TikTok and connect with us with our Discord server.